Um, let's see, when I was about 13, I started getting into drugs and started doing a lot of drugs. And it started off with weed, but then it escalated to a lot more. And ended up selling drugs for a while, selling weed, and it got really bad to the point where I would sell it to anyone that wanted. I was even influencing middle school kids to try it out and stuff, just trying to make money. And one of the middle school parents found out and ended up calling the cops on me, and they ended up finding out that I had been selling for a while, and that got me arrested and on probation, and a lot of bad stuff started happening. It really impacted my family. My family was hurt. Like, even my relative, like, just distant family was hurt. My friends, everyone that cared about me was hurt because they hated seeing me like that. And I ended up just leaving my house eventually and just ran away and moved in with one of the guys that I was selling drugs with. And eventually my parents and me kind of worked things out, and I told them I had changed, but I hadn't really all the way, but like slowly I was. And so eventually I moved back into my house, and my parents had told me about the Lift, and they said it was at a new church they had been going to. They just started going to it. It's called Rich Fork. And they said I would really like it because there was a lot of music. And up to this point, like, if I ever went to church, the only thing that I liked listening to was the music. The preaching bored me, just honestly. And so they told me it would be a lot of music, so I went, and they just played that song Never Once. And like all of a sudden, like the chorus, when it was just like never once did we ever walk alone, it was like the story of my life. And my mom had always told me that like God was with me. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. There's no way. But that song started playing, and I could like really feel it. It's like my body went kind of like numb, sort of. Like I didn't know how to explain. Like I thought for a second that I was actually high. I kind of started like tripping out a little bit. I was like, this feels really weird. And then like I just started smiling, and then like all of a sudden I just felt like all this emotion, and I'm not really like an emotional person. Like the only time I'm emotional is on the football field. Like besides that, I try to stay as far away from like crying and tears and stuff. But I started like weeping, and I was like, what is going on? Like I started thinking everything that happened with like me and my family and stuff, and it was just like this overwhelming, like it was like a rush kind of. Like I was just like, this is so crazy, and I could like, it's like I could feel God's like presence. And that happened to me like one other time when I was at a youth retreat, and it was just like, when it hit, I was just like, this is better than anything like that I could put in my body. And all of a sudden I just broke down crying, and my hands shut up, and I was like, this is so weird. I see my parents do this all the time. I was embarrassed. I was like, why are my hands up? And I'm not one of these. But it ended up being like the greatest feeling ever, and like I just kept singing the words, and like the feeling was better than any type of feeling I've ever had from any drug or alcohol or girl, anything that I could get from something else. Accepted Christ that night, talked to my parents and stuff, and now like when I get tempted, like it's like, I don't know, it's like I always have something to like, someone to talk to and like lean on and ask for help, because before, like, you can't do that stuff on your own. But like it's like I've had God's help, and I'm more like, now I feel more open, like talking to my parents or like uncles, anyone that like can give me advice or like help me stay away from what I was at. And like I don't know, I just feel like my mom and me used to hate each other. Well, I hated her, she loved me, but now it's like, I don't know, my love for her is a lot different, and I don't know, just it's a lot better.